Welcome back to East Midlands Railway Hub. You join us once again on a Sunday session of Hykeham, this time with an additional train. Since we were last here, more brown land has popped up, like just across there. Looks like they've cut down even more trees opposite Lindham so you can see it properly. Yeah, there's not much Greenland and a lot more brown left, but today we'll see a delayed petroleum train, which is one of 4 trains signalled through Langworth, Halton, Moor and that way today. That's delayed 16:10, expected to pass here at about 16:50, currently in about 8 minutes time. Then we've got the 2 at 17:04, 17:15 and 17:18. I've been monitoring the Sunday times quite a lot for the 17:04s, and not once has the Newark Lincoln arrived on time. Not once. It's always been drifting in at 05. Yeah, in summer, well, when they entered them in just the summer only, they were perfectly fine. When they put in the usual winter timetable, it all goes arseways and tits up. Yeah, welcome back to Hykeham on the Castle line. Let's see what happens today. Oh yeah, the help point's been re-erected on this platform. Seen better days though. They just got holding on there with like a couple of screws, so like if someone came on with great big heavy boots and walked very heavily, it'd probably fall off. Works though. We'll check the other one as we get more towards the 17:18. We'll see it for the first train. Actually, before the first train, here they left a bit of the old fencing from when the platform used to slope down a lot earlier. But you can see the height difference. The fence now is partly floating, and the old one never came up this far. So what's it? We redid the platform because some train steps were too high. Well, what about looking at the gap at Gainsborough Road? Of course, I was on a train back yesterday. I couldn't basically step down, I had to jump down. The gap was that large. The gap literally was about the size of my shoe, and I've got great big long shoes on. And that's only a size 7, I think, but the gap was that big. Literally long ways like that. It was fairly big. So if we're going to sort out like height between platform and train step, can we look at the great big gap in between as well? Okay, first up, that 40-minute delayed freight train from Kingsborough to Humber. .039 Dove Holes. Also a station in Derbyshire, up near Buxton. So that then gives us like the next part of the next 10 or so minutes until the next train, which should be 2, and passengers are just arriving for them. Let's see how this other platform's going on. Yeah, there's a lot of brown in there. It used to be trees saying land for sale. Oh, the gate's not closed properly, has it? It's gone well. We've got a weak spring, and it's still on the wrong way. Well, it tries to come all the way, so I'll give it that much. Yeah, this out point's working as well, and the other train's just literally left the Newark North Gate for Collingham. Could do with a paint though, lads. We could do a painting it. What's this poster in here? Locality maps. Keep it local. The North Hykeham map through the Apple and Google Play. I don't know whether to trust it. Well, it doesn't say much on there, does it? It's like full the area itself, and it wouldn't tell you about any rail or buses. Trades and services just literally like your local repairman. So I don't know whether that's any good, but if I come back, they've even put it on slanted. There's the East Midlands one, which is still a great fat lie. It's been a great fat lie since they stuck it up. Yeah, like I was saying, on the Meridian back to Newark the other day, a week probably even, and like I've said a couple of times here, how the hell are you supposed to fit like more than a 4-car train on when you've moved the car stop further in towards the platform? Leave it at the end. The next train to arrive at platform 1 will be the 1704 East Midlands train service to Nottingham, calling at Swinderby, Collingham, Newark Castle, Loudham and Nottingham. Please allow passengers to leave the train first before boarding. The next train to arrive at platform 2 will be the 1704 East Midlands train service to Lincoln Central, calling at Lincoln Central only. Please allow passengers to leave the train first before boarding. If by chance we have a shortage of available coaching stock, we may throw you more coaches on your train than usual. If you travel between Nottingham and Lincoln Central, please note that 3 intermediate stations have a short platform. For Swinderby, in any meridian of 4 carriages, you will need to travel in the front 3. For Hykeham and Collingham, you'll need to travel within the front 2. For Newark Castle, if you're travelling from Nottingham, you may have travelled in any part of the train. If you're travelling to Nottingham on a longer train from Newark, you'll need to join the front 2 coaches of the train. And if by chance you do board one of our additional coaches services, first class is declassified by standard on any train with more carriages than usual. If you cannot book the first class originally, you can sit in there on the day at no extra cost. But please note, an at-seat service of light refreshments will not be available on the train. Also note, if you travel between Nottingham and Newark Castle specifically, we may also put extra coaches on these runs. If you happen to catch a meridian that calls at either Carlton, Burton, Joyce, Loudham, Thurgate and Bleasby, Fiskerton or Rolleston, all of these stations have short platforms. Please listen to onboard announcements for which coach to be in for all of the stations between Newark Castle and Nottingham. Platform 1 for the 1704 East Midlands train service to Nottingham, calling at Swinderby, Collingham, Newark Castle, Loudham and Nottingham. Please allow passengers to leave the train first before trying to board. Off our 6405. Please. Platform 2 for the 1704 East Midlands train service to Lincoln Central. Calling at Lincoln Central only. Please allow passengers to leave the train first before trying to board. The approaching train nose struck in as that one was midway across. Pity the timing point's 30 seconds away. Pity. Because if the timing point was a lot closer than Wisby Garden Centre, it would probably have struck in and kept us down. Off at 865. To Lincoln Central. Now that was what I call eventful. I'm fairly sure between the time the barriers went up and back down again, literally 2 to 3 cars at either end got through. Probably actually 2. But you never get 158 on the return Lincoln either. Which then, I'm not even sure what that'll be forming. I'm sure that'll go into empty to then form 2 Tango 03 for Grimsby Town tomorrow morning. But yeah. I didn't have a clue what was going to happen there myself. Like I say, I was literally staring at the signal map. It says showing the RTT page. But I was staring at the map, and literally as soon as the second carriage of the train was literally at the top of these ballast bags here, the other train struck in. But the gap between the two of them really shows that that can be an automatic half barrier add B. Automatic half barrier add B. I might just call it that in the title. Nah, that's too complex. I'll probably put it as a caption anyway. Random post. But yeah, let's see what happens next with the 1715 to Newark Northgate and the 1718 to Lincoln Central. Firstly though, the reporting points for the last two on departure was the Nottingham train left early and the Lincoln train left 30 seconds late. The Nottinghams off here on a Sunday always leave early. If you was to inquire, they'd say be on the platform 5 minutes before arrival. But how do you know if, let's say, all you carry is a paper book? How do you know if it's on time or half an hour late in your paper book? Because it's a paper book. Anyways, the next two, please. No, the second trains aren't here yet, but I'm just checking out the advertised app in the App Store. It's kind of useless to display at a railway station because it doesn't have any feeding for it. Don't advertise it here. Stick it on one of the council notice boards. Not enough ratings, yeah, obviously. No reviews. I'm not going to use it because it doesn't give me the information that I need. Right, so you saw the 158 that arrived on the Lincoln train, right? Which is usually a 153 on a Sunday. Do you want to see what happened yesterday with the Grand National at Aintree and the Chester racegoers at Crewe Station? Here's a picture from Leon Gregory in one of the Facebook groups. That was the last train from Crewe to Derby for Stoke-on-Trent. One carriage, full and standing, and even departed late because of overcrowding because of a planned event. Yet you're putting 4 carriages on other runs through here when they're not full. Oh, Stagecoach, you really are stupid. Lose the franchise already, because this is just embarrassing. Next up, the 1715 East Midlands train service from Lincoln Central to Newark Northgate. This train will not call at this station. Platform 2 for the 1718 East Midlands train service to Lincoln Central. Calling it to Lincoln Central only. Please allow passengers to leave the train first before boarding. Oh, they claim they want it owed at 1719. It's just struck in now at 1717. And we're expecting it late. Right, shall we do place your bets on the carriage count? So far we've just seen 2 carriages. Is this 2 carriages? Yep, another 2 for the non-busy runs. They're using the stock in the wrong place, no wonder they're saying they're short of it. The finishes off is 156414. He's already got his destination ready for his 8:30 return. So as usual, thanks for watching today's Sunday session here at Hykeham. We'll see you next time.